Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a profound and deeply personal story.
Yeah, it's quite something.
It centers on two people, Vivek, who's dealing with, a pretty shattered past,
Mhm.
and Samiksha, a woman really defined by her sense of duty, carrying unspoken burdens.
And our mission here really is to pull out some maybe surprising insights,
Mm-hmm.
universal truths even from their story.
About love, loss.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And connection when life is, well, messy, complex. It shows how one personal account can echo things we all grapple with.
So let's get into it. Before Samiksha, Vivek's world sounds like it was fragmented.
Definitely.
He talked about this golden past, but it had crumbled, just memories left, leading to sleepless nights.
Haunted by the past.
Yeah, haunted by divorce, broken relationships, and just this uncertain future. He actually said he was living in compromise. How do you even start again from that?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? His experience, it really shows how easily our past, especially big things like divorce, can just cast this long shadow.
Trapping you.
Exactly. Trapping you in regret. It's a powerful reminder of how expectations, once they're shattered, can completely redefine your present.
And then everything changed. April 2018. A chance meeting.
Right. At that animal lovers gathering in Thamel.
Totally unexpected. And Vivek was just instantly captivated by Samiksha. He felt her eyes spoke to him. It shifted his whole perspective.
It's amazing, isn't it, how one connection, sometimes completely out of the blue, can reroute your entire life, especially when you're feeling, incomplete already. That feeling of being truly seen by someone. Transformative.
So they met for coffee, their first real talk.
And they both opened up.
Yeah. Revealed their incomplete lives, as they play it. Vivek talked about his uncertainty after the divorce. And Samiksha, she admitted she was married, but only on paper.
Wow.
A single mother, a warrior, she said, burdened by duty, past hurts. And somehow they found this quiet understanding in the wounds and silence.
And it's striking, really, how that shared vulnerability, that shared pain almost, became the foundation. It wasn't about common joys initially, but recognizing that struggle in each other. Despite, very different situations, those bonds can be incredibly deep.
Their relationship, though they never really named it, lasted almost 6 years.
6 years.
For Vivek, Samiksha was like a light in a dark tunnel, a chance for rebirth.
But she saw it differently.
Totally. She saw it as a temporary sun, something constrained by her duties, especially as a mother. That was her life's pivot, and her own emotional scars. She just couldn't offer permanence.
Right, even as he grew more dependent.
Exactly.
That contrast is key, isn't it? He's looking for healing, a whole new start. She can only offer solace, moments, because her life, her past, her responsibilities, they just don't allow for more.
Then something devastating happened. Vivek was diagnosed with blood cancer. This was after a political attack, apparently.
Oh, wow. That just changes everything.
Completely reoriented his view on life. And initially, Samiksha promised, she'd stay till his last breath.
That diagnosis, it brings in such a brutal reality.
Yeah.
Shifts focus from emotional weight to just the stark fragility of life itself.
Yeah.
It must have tested that already fragile connection to its absolute limit.
Yeah.
Confronting mortality, together but apart in a way.
Which leads to Vivek's decision. Heartbreaking, really. An act of love, but through sacrifice.
He distanced himself.
He did. He believed true love is always incomplete, that it must always lose. He wanted to free her from the burden of what he called a tired soul, a future with no gain or light for her. He said love is not about winning, but about fulfilling. That's a tough concept. Love meaning letting go.
He absolutely is. And maybe that's the most profound insight here, that real love can be this radical selflessness, choosing to spare the other person pain, even if it means, enduring your own. It really challenges our usual ideas of love as, togetherness or possession.
Their farewell, it's described so poignantly, an incomplete touch. Samiksha came to the hospital. She was wearing the shawl he'd given her. And his last words, "When you come, life comes. When you are not here, life ends."
Wow. Heavy.
Then he passed peacefully. His hand just slipped from hers, that incomplete touch. And apparently at his cremation, you could see the tattoo of her name on his hand before the flames took it.
That's incredibly powerful, the quiet dignity there. And even in death, their connection stays profound, silent. That disappearing tattoo. It's like a symbol of a love that wasn't completed in the usual sense, but still left this indelible, unseen mark.
So what about Samiksha? afterwards?
Well, the source says she carried on, functioning outwardly, but
Yeah.
inside, she carried this blue shadow of
The
loss.
blue shadow.
Yeah. And when her daughter asked about Vivek years later, her response was just perfect in a way. She said, "Some things cannot be finished in words. Some feelings live in silence."
So he lives on in her memory.
Exactly. Like a light that, oh, okay, it never fully brightened her whole world, maybe,
Hmm.
but it also kept the complete darkness away.
It shows how these profound connections, they don't always need neat endings, do they?
Not at all. They teach us about duty, about sacrifice, about that quiet strength you find in just
Hmm.
living with a cherished memory. It's a different kind of completion, found in acceptance, in silence.
It's just a truly powerful story. Love transcending definitions, finding its expression in sacrifice, in memory.
It really leaves you thinking, doesn't it, about how some of the most impactful relationships are the ones that subtly shape us, teach us resilience, that quiet strength of carrying the past.
So the question it leaves us with, maybe for you to think about too, is what does it truly mean for love to be complete? And how do we find meaning in those blue shadows from our own pasts? Something to consider long after this deep dive ends.